Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope everybody's healthy and healing and all of those things. So I have had the Black Mirror Oracle deck for about a week now. And one of the very first readings that I really wanted to do with this actual deck was Nicole and her involvement with her real motives, with her involvement with Chris, and her part in the murders. So I did a 6-card spread. These are very, very intense cards. It does not matter if they come in reverse. I just turn them all upright so that you guys can kind of see them a little better. This is like the shadow side of ourselves. The real us, the us that everybody doesn't really get to see, us at our darkest, the things that we don't admit to people, all that good stuff. So let's get started. Alright, so the first card we have here is Masquerade. And it is, what I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold for 1 second. Visually on this card, a man's face, young in flesh and in posture, with a wide open shirt. Over him appears the most complicated hat, straight from a Venetian carnival. And under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. It's very, okay, so it's not all, this is a very descriptive, these are very descriptive and very important because they really, each card touches on so much, and I think that this particular spread, it really just, you'll see, okay? There is often guilt in taking the mask of Don Juan, or Donna Joanna. The seducer is not the master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of what is fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and as such, he forgot all other kinds of eternity. There is guilt if you care, because you are not building. There is guilt of loss because you are not treasuring. There is guilt out of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of meaning and value. Sometimes there is guilt in selflessness, in the desire itself, and everything leading to pleasure, as if the only pleasure that can be sacred are ones that are labeled as such. The masquerade is a dance. It is a road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows, and always ends at the first light. Before the time comes, hold it tightly. When the time comes, let it go. So, you guys got that. This is of her. I mean, I know it's a man on it, but this is her. And, she was okay with it. She devalued herself. She was okay with being second place. She was okay with it being a temporary thing and having this dance where she pretended that it was okay. But it wasn't okay, obviously, because, let's go on. The next card we have is Revenge. Everybody knows what revenge is. It's time to take arms against the sea of trouble, and by opposing in them. On the card we have a complex magic gylf illuminates the ground as a pale woman dressed in black seems to surge from it. She has a blood crimson eyes, a white flower garland, and 2 plain swords. Her wings are made of weathered branches. There is no white night, but there can be black storm woven by fallen angels. What if there was a place where there were no more time for words, no more sense to bargain or negotiate, no more survival instinct to accept, fear, or ponder consequences? It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse, with that last spark of our dignity surging up as a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. We destroy not for ourselves, because we are gone. We destroy for the fairness of the world. We destroy because if there is no sweet justice, there can at least be cruel revenge. We destroy for those who came earlier, for those who would have come later. We destroy and we destroy. We forsake ourselves. There is no going back, because coming back from that requires much more than force. Wow, that's an intense card right there. These, I don't even have to explain anything, guys, because these cards explain themselves. This next one is Black Power, or Black Flower Fragrance. And the world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world. Fuck you. On the card, a beautiful woman, her face with a hint of resolve, holds a strange black rose on her chest. It seems to explode like a crystal, each petal of obsidian shard. If we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly, love can be cheap, love can be rotten, but even ugly love has a right to exist. Even cheap love can rise to the sky. Even rotten love has dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you still have the right to be respected. Even if you are stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you're lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you are rich, you have the right to be sad. Even if you can't shine because you are beautiful, then shine even if you are ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black. Ugly as love. Worn out as an angel. Cheap as a crown. Unconquered as a fragrance in the night. And that is crazy. But that was her train of thinking. She felt like, like, fuck y'all. Our love was real, even though I was having an affair and it wasn't right, and it was rotten love, and it was ugly, and it wasn't pure, and I looked cheap and am cheap and all that. She's like, fuck y'all. I have the right to feel angry because he lied to me. He didn't lie to you. You knew the truth. And if you believed him, then you're probably the same kind of person that believed that old sales guy on TV. He was a car salesman. His catchphrase was, I wouldn't lie to you. Hell yeah, you're going to lie to me. You want to sell me a car. I don't know. I mean, you should never expect... If you expect honesty and you expect that you're so great that someone won't cheat on you, but they're cheating on the person that they're with, that you're such a better person, that won't happen to you, you're delusional. Because it's not the other person the reason that the other person cheats. The reason the other person cheats is because that's what they want to do. See, they could be grown and leave the other person if they didn't want to be with them. But that's a whole different topic here. But anyway, the next card we have is Parasite, which is what she is. When the only answer to lack of self-efficiency is to cling to another one. I guess this is what she felt about Shanann, probably. On the card, a long-haired man with a pale-faced, heavy eyelids. A dull golden chain drapes over his forehead. Around his body and through his body, a poisonous ivy grows and clings subtly to him. What can't survive alone will seek company, but instead of growing together, they will only wither together. And that's what she did. She leached onto him when Shanann left, and that's exactly what she was, poison ivy that killed his ass, because he did. He's dead. Like, he's as dead as a person can be without being dead. His life is dead, at least. That's why life in prison is always better than instant death, because, you know, death, I don't want to get into that, but death isn't, it's the easy way out, I'm just saying. Relationships are not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is part of the game, but it's quite different when you take the shape of supporting rather than manipulating or exploiting. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win, where the more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. Still, it's not always like this, isn't it? Not just in bad relationships. In the short run, bad is bound to happen even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support. And on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happens, it happened, and it will happen again. It is part of the game. But it happens too often. It creates a toxic environment. Even if it doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator, as poison is shared equally. One gets the pain, another one gets the advantage. But the toxic part they both get fully, a parasite, a leech, kills itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to the destination, and then the destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheep, but the true problem is living as sheep for 100 years. Yeah, y'all got that. That's, yeah. She was the real parasite. I think she tried to spin it. Maybe that was her spiel, her masquerade, her dance. Downcasted pride is this one. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. Interesting. Visually, the eyes, dark with dried blood tears, look downwards. The face of a dark-skinned, beautiful elf with gold laurels among her hair is stern and motionless. Roots plunge into her body from the golden collar. The sky behind her is as gray as concrete. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with the world that would separate us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of identity? Sometimes we don't use the best parts of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded. When we think what we are, only sacrificing our pride, we cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Honestly, the true delusion in our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales, the sky can change color too, as long as we sometimes look up, we can notice it. Yeah. And the last one is Today for tomorrow. This one's a card right here. Hope is in the present. It's the brick we use to build our future on. Visually on the card, mother and daughter, or maybe twins. Or the same person in different times. Red hair, a black dress, standing on top of some stairs under the moon in the wind. I want it some. I want it later. Gently. It may seem like a trade-off to sacrifice the present in order to secure a better future. That's what ants do. Or to sacrifice the future to enjoy a better present. Cicadas do this? I don't know. Either choice holds a bitter taste. It's like watching a child play. Shouldn't she study? And if she were studying, wouldn't she regret not playing more? You meet a person you were attracted to. Do you go past and let it stay in the fantasy? Or do you make a move and follow through? To the, oh Jesus, until the gutless ending. The endless choice between regret and remorse. What if, for once we turn our back to the dark, we do the unexpected and we shred it like a used dress. We can walk by the sea as no one is around, and we skinny dip out our worries. The present and the future are one single integrated connection. There is no choice between the road. There is only one. And what we are today and what we are tomorrow may be different, but it is the same person. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy on her soul. I just want to say that. I hope Lord has mercy on your soul, baby. I really, really do. But yeah, this is a really deep deck, and it's very descriptive. I haven't learned them all yet, so I did have to read from it, but I'm going to tell you, this deck and the very descriptiveness of it, I mean, this is a lot. It's pretty intense, and it's intense that, that she felt like basically it was her right. She had the right to. She had the right to take it from Shanann, because it was her right to love him, you know. It was her dance, and she could dance to any song she wanted to, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, like I said, I hope God blesses her soul. I hope she gets saved. I hope that she gets this demonic, evil heartedness that she has in her, and she breaks that down, and she really gives herself over to God and to Spirit, so that she doesn't just drift off into eternity being a dark, evil being, because she is pure evil. Just, and I don't want to say she's pure evil, but the energy that she exudes is very, very evil. Very, very evil. And she didn't give a fudge. Not even a single shit about those children. She didn't care whatsoever about those babies that she took their lives. She didn't care. She felt like she deserved him. She deserved that life. And who was anybody else to tell her any different? Just because they thought that she didn't deserve it. And that, you know, she wasn't entitled to it. He really loved her. He didn't love them. He didn't care. They were just parasites to him. She was the real deal. And you know what? You dang right you were the real deal for him. You was his twin flame soulmate. you were who he should have been with, because two evil people like y'all are damn destined to be together. You gotta be. Shanann, she should have had someone as terrific of a parent as she was, that matched her energy and that cared about their children just as much as she did. Like, ugh. I find it really disturbing that there wasn't even one guilt card here. Like, not even one. She was mainly just angry and didn't give a shit. She didn't care about anybody else, and that is horrible. I mean, I know that I've known this, and, you know, sure a lot of you guys, who, if you're watching this video, you've known this about her as well. But it is just really, really, really disheartening that there's still, you know, I mean, I guess I did ask about her role in the murders, her real relationship with Chris, and her role in the murders. What role she had in the murders. And obviously she was the catalyst, as in she came up with the idea, she planned it, she executed it. In my opinion, you know, for entertainment purposes only, I guess. But it's just what I read off the cards, you know, and what I pick up on intuitively. It is not fact. It is only my opinion. And, yeah, I have a right to it. So, yeah. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It was like really, I had to burn some sage before I even did this. I don't like messing with her energy at all, because she is all evil. Like, I just want to save her soul, because dang, girl, like, I have to do the right thing and, like, try to help you get your soul right, because you need something. You need, like, an exorcism or something. I don't know. Y'all have a good night.